Week 7 of the NFL season was a doozy. I say this for a variety of reasons, mostly because my fantasy football team lost a heartbreaker. I employ Lamar Jackson and I employ Jahmyr Gibbs, started both of those players, and still somehow that wasn't enough to win a game. Very, very troubling signs there. And then, of course, my New York Jets lost on Sunday night, in just brutal fashion. One of the most infuriating plays I've ever seen happen on a football field. Aaron Rodgers dropping back, delivering a perfect ball just beyond the reach of a defender, just beyond the reach of a DB, into the chest, into the arms of Garrett Wilson, and Garrett can't make a play. Not only is it an incompletion, it bounces off Garrett Wilson's chest plate up into the air, gets intercepted by Pittsburgh's defender, taken back to the Jets' 1 yard line, leads to 7 points. It's just infuriating when you see an all-time great quarterback make an all-time great throw, or a throw that's, something he's capable of and something he's done countless times in his career. When he does that again, but the receiver can't haul it in, and in fact does the complete opposite of what you want to do and gives it to the other team, it's truly infuriating. I think that changed the entire game. They were just down one at that point, and then it was too steep of a hill to climb after that. Okay, so I got Thursday night's game wrong. I have to start giving more credit to Sean Payton and Bo Nix. -1.5. They look like a good team. They look like a team that can run that offense smoothly enough, and then their defense takes them the rest of the way. They can win some games like that for sure. New England's abysmal. Drake May's probably the lone bright spot on that team. Him and Gonzalez, the cornerback. Those are kind of your two pillars on both sides of the ball if you're New England, but still, the roster is abysmal other than them. Drake May can, he has a big arm. He can throw guys open. He puts the ball where it has to be, but that team's hard to watch right now, and they're going to get rolled by everyone pretty much. Houston's a good team, but so is Green Bay. I think Green Bay has a slight coaching advantage, Matt LaFleur over D'Amico Ryans, but Houston covered for me. That's a good team, two good teams. Both will be in the playoffs, and that's a who's at home, who gets the ball last. One of those games that gets decided by one of those factors. So, um, I think it's pretty encouraging if you're Green Bay that Jordan Love is slinging the ball all over the field. He's obviously he's always had the arm talent. He's always had the confidence in himself, but right now he's seeing the field well enough. He's obviously throwing some picks that kind of make you cringe, but he's going to get better at that. He's going to clean it up. And some of these guys are just they're gunslingers by nature. They've been that way since high school, college. Jordan Love is probably one of those guys. He thinks his arm strength's good enough to, fit the ball into any hole. And credit to him, he most of the time he's right. And yeah, Green Bay's a really good team. Seattle was going to come out angry. We knew that. Great game by Geno. Great game by that offense. Buffalo is head and shoulders better than Tennessee. This shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that they won by 24. Adding Amari Cooper to that team makes them even more dangerous. I think Detroit's better than Minnesota. They completely did whatever they wanted against this vaunted Minnesota defense. Nothing against Brian Flores and who they have on that defense, but Detroit's offense is just absurd. I mean, Jared Goff is a distributor as a passer. If you keep him upright, he's as good as it gets. I'm not saying he's a great athlete or moves around and extends plays great, but when you have this offensive line, it's probably the best in the league. And then you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jamison Williams. I know about the 2-game suspension. That's fine. He'll be back. And two B+ to A- running backs and David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, plus Ben Johnson calling plays. There's nothing this offense can't do. There's no defense you can put in front of them that I think is going to really hinder them unless it's like Kansas City's. But wow, Detroit's a juggernaut. Detroit is a real juggernaut. Yeah, New York is also terrible. I thought they would be able to keep it close at home against Philly. I got that one wrong. I thought Cleveland would also be able to do the same because these two are divisional matchups. Didn't work out that way. Indianapolis is better than Miami, and most of the league is when they don't have Tua. So that wasn't really surprising. This was a brutal, brutal beat right here. In what world, down 8, does Antonio Pierce opt to kick the field goal? Fourth and goal? That's just brutal. The way it should have gone, they should have gone for it on fourth down. Obviously, not completed that. LA gets the ball back, they run out the clock, and that's an 8-point win. They cover the -5.5. And then Antonio Pierce, that's why he's going to be out of a job soon. So Carolina's not good enough, even with Marcus Mariota stepping in for an injured Jaden Daniels. Washington can move the ball up and down the field on anyone. A lot of talent. I feel really happy for Terry McLaurin. He hasn't always had a talented quarterback throwing him the ball, but seeing them get wins like this is really cool to see for him. Kansas City. I don't know why we keep getting these +1.5 Kansas City underdog lines. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. In this matchup specifically, Chiefs 49ers, quarterback advantage Patrick Mahomes, defense advantage Kansas City, coach advantage Andy Reid, kicker advantage Harrison Butker. Everything points to Kansas City except the spread. I'm going to feast on that all day. I hope a lot of you smart bettors put a lot of money on this. Put the mortgage on Kansas City every week. They're probably the best team in the league. Mahomes isn't even throwing the ball well. Mahomes is actually having the worst statistical season of his career by far, and they're 6-0. You figure. I talked a little bit about this game already. I think that play kind of, um, took a lot of the wind out of the sails of the Jets. That was unfortunate. You have to start racking up some wins now, and this is a game. This is as close to a must-win game as you can have in the first, half of the season. So, not good for the Jets. Baltimore's better than Tampa. Lamar's probably the MVP of the league if the season ended right now. That would be his third. Since 2018, only 3 NFL players have won the MVP award. They've all done it multiple times. They've all done it twice, I think. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that's going to change. The top 2 favorites to win the award this year, according to Vegas, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. So I think, Lamar is that guy right now. He's confident, great O-line. Actually, it's not that great of a O-line now that I think about it. A lot of penalties there, but he's good enough to overcome pretty much anything. Yeah, ugly game for the Chargers, no touchdowns. Arizona, yeah, it wasn't pretty, but that was a gritty win by them, and give them credit. Okay, so now we go to week 8, starting tomorrow. Minnesota's the play right here. They're a better team. Kevin O'Connell, and the entire team's going to be a little bit pissed that they lost that close game at home. They're going to get back in the win column. They're going to move the ball really well, and I don't see how the Rams can move the ball if they weren't really doing it against the Raiders. Brian Flores is going to cook something up. 9.5 is a ton of points, but I was in this same position last week betting on the Cleveland Browns to keep a game close. I don't know if I can do that, but I'm going to do it again. Nothing against Baltimore. It's just Jameis Winston's going to be stepping in. They're going to be galvanized a little bit at home. Historically they play Baltimore pretty well. Game in division. This feels like a little bit of a trap game. Let's go with Cleveland there. Jesus Christ, plus 11.5. Detroit feels like they can blow out anyone. They just blew out the Cowboys. I think they can do it again. Oh, this is ridiculous. Tua's going to play. I don't care. I think Arizona can keep this game close for sure. Plus 3.5. Why do we think the Dolphins are good? Okay, this one's odd. It says 0% picked and 0% picked on both sides. Maybe bettors are just completely turned off by this game. The lack of talent, the lack of coaching, horrible. But let's go with the Jets there. You know what? If Tampa Bay was healthy, I would pick them easily to win this game, -2.5 at home. But Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are both out. Let's go with Atlanta. Could be a trap game. Green Bay's too well coached, too talented to not win that game by. Yeah, they can win that game by 5 easily. Houston's going to come out very, very hungry, very angry after losing a close game on the last kick. I'm going to go with Philadelphia here. I don't think Cincinnati's good enough to get this team off the field. I don't think they're good enough to get those big third down stops on the Eagles. If it's like 3rd and 2, they go for it. Or, I mean, 4th and 2, excuse me. 4th and 2, fourth and a long 3 or something like that. They go for it all the time. This one's interesting. I'm going to go with the Saints here. I'm not sure if Derek Carr is back for this game, but I think 7.5 might just be a little bit too much. I can see the Chargers winning by 4 or 5 points, something like that. Let's go with Seattle here. I think Buffalo comes back down to earth. That's a long trip for them. I think Josh might throw his first pick of the game this year. Yeah, plus 2.5. This feels like a no-brainer. I know Chicago's a really great defense, but we saw the way Marcus Mariota played. Even if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, they should be fine at home. Dan Quinn's a great coach. Yeah, Denver's spanking teams right now, and I have no reason to believe they won't spank Carolina. Too many points, but yeah, too many points. Kansas City doesn't really win. Well, they did just beat San Francisco by 10. Let's go with the Chiefs. I don't want to bet against them. I'll go with the Niners here. I don't care how banged up they are. Dallas isn't that good. And this is a Monday nighter. Jeez, Pittsburgh's gotten 3 out of 4 primetime standalone games. 2 Sunday nights 2 weeks ago, just this Sunday, and then they get a Monday nighter. Yeah, with Russell Wilson, I think they can win that game easily. So I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 favorites out of, I wonder how many games there are this week. 16. Oh, there's a full 16 game slate. So only 9 favorites, 7 underdogs. That feels like it's balanced. How many total points will be scored in Giants Steelers? That'll be a bloodbath. Let's leave it at 47 points. Yeah, I think this is this doesn't feel like a terribly tough week to call, but then again, I can say that and then go like 4-12 on these picks. So I have to come back next week and see how it all goes. But thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe.